Hi, my name is Elysia English and welcome to my channel. If you're at my channel right now, it means that you love the same things that I do. I love DIY, upcycling, thrifting, and that's what this video is all about. I've been doing some big projects this month, working on a 1986 vintage camper. I've also been building my own she shed tiny home studio build. Problem is, I'm looking for articles to put into these spaces and I'm having a really hard time doing that. All of our home decor shops right now are completely empty. And so I'm not finding the custom pieces that I really want to have for my spaces. So I thought, what better for me to make my own? If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen a sneak peek on what I'm working on for today's video. I decided I wanted to get into my stash of upcycled yarn that someone donated to me and some thrifted fabrics that I found, even including some old tea towels, drop cloths, and fabric I found in the thrifted section of the thrift store. So I'm going to use these to make some custom decor that I'm going to put in my camper space, which I'm super excited about because I'm going for a nautical theme and I know that I'm just not going to find what I'm looking for in the stores. So I'm going to utilize all of these secondhand materials and make some amazing customized pillows. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Elysia English because I like to put up sneak peeks of projects that I'm working on and just little tips and tricks of things that I'm learning along the way doing DIYs that anybody can create. I like to be able to utilize materials I also have on hand to do things on a budget. That means I can make more home decor items. If you don't subscribe to my channel yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and check out my DIY playlist on my channel. I'm excited to show you in today's video the supplies that I'm going to use, all thrifted. Let's go. The first supply that I'm going to use is some thrifted yarn. Someone dropped off 7 boxes of yarn on my doorstep several months ago, and I've been working through my stash. These colors are amazing, and they're perfect colors for what I'm doing in my camper. Whenever I have pillows that I'm no longer using, maybe I want to change up the colors, and I want to make sure that I keep my inserts. So I'm going to use some lumber pillows and some 18 by 18 inch pillows for the inserts for what we're going to create today. Since I love to use upcycled materials, the perfect spot to check is in the linen section of a thrift store. You can find amazing thrifted linens. You can also find fabric remnants that people didn't want to use anymore. Even find really cool tablecloths and even tea towels. So what I'm going to use to create some pillows in today's video is all upcycled fabric. I picked up this tea towel, which was actually a set of 4 that I've already used the other 3. It's the perfect nautical theme and it'll be great to do the front on one of my lumbar pillows. I also found some remnants of this awesome sailboat that is going to be perfect for my nautical theme for my camper, which is great. And then of course I'm adding a pop of yellow in that space, so I'm using some remnants of this mustard yellow. Another spot to look is white sheets. If you're looking for white fabric, you can upcycle white sheets into pretty much anything. So I have some white sheets. And then I also have some drop cloth, which is a perfect thing you can use to even stencil on this if you choose that option. We're gonna turn all of these into amazing pillows. One of the reasons why I really love to go to thrift stores and find upcycled fabric is because when you go to a home decor store, you don't always find what you're looking for and you're finding items that anybody can find. When you find an item that's one of a kind at a thrift store, you're going to have really customized items and make your space really unique. So the first pillow that I created, I tried using the tea towel. I wanted to make a couple off of camera to see what the dimensions were going to be so I could show you how to make these for yourself. I only had one of these tea towels, so I knew it was just enough to make one lumbar pillow. So what I did was I used some of the white sheet to make my pocket pillow on the back, which I think actually adds some really nice dimension and detailing to the pillow anyways. So it turned out really good that I didn't have enough to do the backside anyways. So being able to do different colors on both sides will add a little bit of detailing and customization to your pillow. The other pillow that I did, I thought would be super fun to add tassels to the corner. So I'm going to show you how I did that. But because I'm trying to add that pop of a deep vintage mustard yellow into my camper, I wanted to make a pillow that was all mustard yellow, and I added some white tassels using that upcycled yarn. Again, I made the same kind of pocket pillow, which made it really good to put my, you can see, upcycled interior of my pillow in there. So that way it's covered up and I can actually use any inserts from any old pillows that I have, or even ones you find at the thrift store. Whatever you find at the thrift store, make sure that you thoroughly clean everything that you bring home and then you're good to go. I want to show you how I made my pocket pillows and then how I made the tassels and attached them to the pillows. It was super easy and anyone can do it. I'm a beginner sewer. I've only had my sewing machine for about 8 months and I've been working on these simple projects, so if I can do it, so can you. I really loved how I found this pattern that had the sailboats on it. I think it goes really cute with the nautical theme of the camper. And then I'm going to add some blue tassels to the corners. So what I'm going to do first is just iron my fabric. What I want I'm gonna do to make my envelope pillow is I'm going to make mine 19 inches by 19 inches. I'm using an 18 by 18 insert, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra room. And I have this great measuring tool and a cutting mat and a razor cutter, which makes cutting your fabric a lot easier. If you don't have this, you can just use a measuring tape and some scissors and it works just fine. So I'm going to make some cuts and cut mine to 19 by 19, my first piece. Using the same fabric, I'm going to create two pieces of the exact same size, 11 inches by 19 inches. Then I'm going to make a little seam, so I'm just gonna get those cut and then I'll show you how I make the seams. My two pieces cut to 11 inches by 19 are cut, and I'm going to flip them over and I'm going to sew a seam along the top. So I'm going to use my iron to help me press them, and then I'll be able to put some pins and run my sewing machine along these edges. Now I have my square, which is 19 by 19, and two pieces at 11 inches by 19. And what I'm going to do is leave my pattern side up and put my pattern side down. If I didn't want to add my tassels, I would just go like this over top after I'd sewed my seams here, and then sew all the way around the pillow. But I do want to make some tassels. So before I do any sewing, I'm going to create my tassels. I am going to show you how I made my tassels, but I already pre-made a couple so that I can show you what I did. So I already have one for each of my corners, and I have extended my string along the top here way longer than I needed, just to make sure that I had enough of my string. And so I'm going to tie a knot about 1 inch from the top here, and I'm actually going to double knot it. And this is going to help to make sure that once it's sewn in, that no kids or pets or anything can pull your tassels out, because it'll have some resistance from the knot. And I'm going to lay it in the corner where I want it, and then I'll be able to attach it with the pin when I put on my top panel. So I'm going to do the same to all 4 of my tassels. All right, and then you want to make sure that your knot and everything is pointing out, because this is going to be your inside. So you want your tassels not to be on the outer part. Once you're done, you'll be able to cut off some of this excess. You can cut it off now if you really want to, which I'm going to because I have a lot of excess here. Practicing with tassels, you always want to give yourself a lot of extra string. That way you don't make your tassels too short. And then what I can do is I'm going to sew my seams here and then attach my panel on top, putting my pins all the way around, and I'm basically sewing in the tassels to the corner. Now that I have my seams along the top, I'm going to put the pattern side meeting the pattern side. That way that'll be my actual front of my pillowcase. You want the pretty pattern to be visible, obviously. So I'm going to lay this on top with my tassels in the corners. Make sure it's all lined up, and then I'm going to pin all the way around the perimeter of my pillow. Now I'm ready to sew all the way around the perimeter, and this is going to sew those tassels in place. You'll be able to feel that you don't have any of your tassels pulling through if you've successfully sewed over those corners. And because my pillowcase is inside out, I'm now going to flip it the right way. I think this turned out super cute. I love the nautical pattern. I love that it looks fresh and new. I put the thrifted insert in with my thrifted remnants and then used my eco upcycled yarn that someone donated to be able to make my tassels. Super easy, and I think it's gonna have a huge impact in the camper. I'm gonna show you how I made the tassels. There's actual little tassel maker kits you can get online, but who wants to spend money on something that you're maybe not gonna use that often? So I'm just gonna use my hands and a pair of scissors and some upcycled yarn. You wanna decide first off, how long do you want your tassels to be? So if you wanna have maybe 3-inch long tassels, you wanna make sure that the strips you're making are at least 6 inches. I always make mine a little bigger than I need, and then I just cut them down to size when I'm done. So I'm gonna make mine more like maybe 8-inch long strips. And all I'm going to do is hold it like this and keep going back and forth, grabbing the yarn. So easy, right? If you want super fluffy tassels, you want to do as many strips as you can. If you just want a couple strings, then just do a couple loops. All right, so I'm going to make a super fluffy tassel, and then all I'm going to do now is cut my yarn because I don't need a whole ball of yarn. Then I'm going to lay it down on the table and cut another piece maybe about 10 inches long and lay it over top. Then I'm going to fold one side of my strips over the other, grabbing my ends here, and I'm going to make a knot. So now you have this kind of bobbly piece of balled up yarn here. And because you want to make a little ball at the top of your tassel, you're going to cut another piece, just a scrap piece of yarn. Doesn't really matter how long it is. And you're going to lay it underneath, make a knot, and then just pull it, not super, super tight, enough that you kind of make a little bit of a puff head on your little bobble there. And I do a double knot. You can just let the shortest end dangle with your strips because you're not going to see it. And then I like to take this and just wrap it 1 or 2 times around, giving a little bit of a thicker band. And then I tuck my yarn in the back. Super easy. Rather than tying a knot, you just have to loop it through in the yarn somewhere so that it'll dangle down. And then you have the top, which can go into your pillow here, your bobble head. You have this cute little wrapping here. And then you have this long, very unnecessarily long tassel that you can actually cut to be whatever length you want. So these are actually not strands, they're still loops, so you can either just keep them and separate the ends so that they're now tasseled, or you can cut it shorter and make your tassels as long as you want. So I'm just going to trim mine, give them a little haircut. And there I have a super easy and super fast tassel for the corners of my pillow. And then I get to do the same thing again and just use this as a guide for how short to give the haircut for my other 3 for my other corners. So I have 4 tassels that are done in this awesome mustard yellow that I'm going to use for a drop cloth pillow that I'm going to do some printmaking on with using stencils that you don't need a silhouette or a Cricut to do. Using my upcycled drop cloth, I made some more tassels using the mustard colored yarn that I just showed you how to make the tassels. I wanted to try to make my own printmaking using just some scrap cardboard. So what I've done is I kind of wanted to go with a kid print, a little bit seagull, duck-like to be put in the camper because my older son loves nature and my 8-year-old really loves ducks, and so I thought it would be super cute to put some kind of bird print on this. So what I did was I just took a pencil and I drew the shape for a little bit of a duck or seagull shape, and I have 2 different sizes like silhouettes, and I want to actually use these to print make with my paint on this canvas drop cloth. So I'm going to attach a tiny little handle using my hot glue gun. That way I'll be able to push down without getting paint on my hands and moving it around, and then I can do a little bit of hand painting and put a design on this pillow. hope that you enjoyed today's video. I think it's amazing that we can make custom home decor, especially thrifted, for under $5. If I was going to purchase pillows, I may or may not find in home decor stores what I was really looking for, and then especially paying a price of being able to do these thrifted. So as I was able to make 4 pillows for maybe about $15 only, and I have lots of fabric left to be able to make more pillows for the rest of my camper series, which I'm pretty excited about. The possibilities are endless. Look in your thrift departments on remnants, tablecloths, fabric, old curtains, old sheets. I even used drop cloth, and I think that they all turned out really well. See, what do you think, YouTube family? Turned out pretty good. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I was able to also use some of the fabric that I found to create some of our I love you hand symbols that you see us do on our channel all the time. I'm pretty excited about them. I think they turned out super cute. I have them available in 5 different colors, and I'm going to be putting them on my Etsy shop for you, and they'll be shipping worldwide. So if you're interested, follow the link above. She's eating me. Say hi. Okay. Say, don't forget, don't forget. Vin wants to remind you not to forget to enter our June giveaway. You need to comment and be a subscriber to our channel on our tiny home build studio video. That is going to be your chance to enter into winning some of our handmade and custom merch from Bunker Branding. We're going to be shipping to our winner worldwide. So it doesn't matter where you live, you can be entered into our giveaway. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next project. Love you, bye. Don't forget to subscribe. She's so cute, oh my goodness. We're gonna get no DIYs done because we didn't want to snuggle puppies.